Steady now.
"2023's RoboCop Rogue City was a surprising delight, capturing the zeitgeist of the iconic sci-fi movies while being pretty good fun in its own right. Teyon delivered one of those rare licensed games which works. The announcement of a standalone expansion proved welcome, and unfinished business offers exactly what you'd expect from that. Slightly more of a good thing at a cheaper price tag. If you loved blasting bad guys with an Auto 9, then this gives more and then some, though it proves a trickier sell for those not enamoured with the prior game. Set shortly after the events of Rogue City, unfinished business sees RoboCop on a personal mission as his precinct is ransacked for OCP equipment and ruin is all that is left. This takes him to Omni Tower, a complex of sorts where people go for housing across its numerous floors.
All squads, code red. RoboCop is here. Backup is needed in the main lobby.
But with dangerous mercenaries occupying the tower, it's up to Murphy and a mysterious voice over the radio to navigate this booby-trapped tower and take down those responsible for the crimes against Detroit Police Department. Like before, Teyon captures the humour and tone of the films very well, and Peter Weller returns to deliver some humorous zingers.
Information is currency here.
I protected your store.
A handful of new characters also provide enjoyable cameos, whether it's the feisty Stella who appears a few times throughout the game, or the Big Bad, voiced well by Tom Clark Hill. Like before, you truly feel as if you're stepping into the boots of RoboCop, largely because unfinished business doesn't stray too far mechanically from its predecessor. The same impactful yet responsive combat returns, as the iconic Auto 9 can pop limbs with alarming ease, along with a handful of civvy weapons you can pick up, like shotguns and assault rifles. There are some new additions, though they are a touch mixed in quality. You can now perform environmental takedowns for instant kills, such as stuffing mercs into a garbage chute. Unfortunately, there's only a handful of objects, and the cutscene interruption slows combat. More fun is some of the new weapons, including the potent cryo cannon, which decimates foes and freezes the nearby environment. If you enjoyed the shooting in the previous game, you'll still find pleasure here. Shooting is, in fact, the predominant element here, as unfinished business eschews the more open structure of Rogue City in favour of a focus on corridor shooting and far more action. Those yearning for the exploration akin to wandering the streets of Detroit will be disappointed, as while some small areas house a few side missions, they feel insubstantial or rely on fetch questing. It ultimately means the action can become a touch tiring by the end, as too much of a good thing still feels a bit numbing. There is some reprieve from this, with the occasional flashback segments, which focus on other characters mostly, but do include one chapter where you control Murphy before he becomes RoboCop.
The hood is still warm. They've only just arrived.
It seems weird, but these offer a slight break from what is otherwise a fairly straightforward, slightly repetitive shooter, and not even continually climbing a tower block a la The Raid is enough to overcome that. It's also pretty brisk, though that's to be expected from a standalone which is half the price of its main game. Explorative playthroughs with a majority of side quests done will still struggle to break the 10-hour mark, and unlike the prior game, there are no multiple endings or a new game plus to incentivise a return visit. That being said, 4 difficulty modes are present, and the upgrade system returns, which encourages you to seek out both OCP chests for parts and new boards through questing.
Where can I find this outpost?
In the residential zone. You can use my Rich's secret evacuation passage to get there.
Presentation-wise, Unfinished Business looks about as solid as its predecessor, but unfortunately, it can be just as buggy. Everything has a high quality sheen, from the fantastic lighting, stunning RoboCop model, and explosive environmental destruction which immerses you into the combat. But like before, lip syncing and facial animations on NPCs can look weird, performance can dip during the more explosive fights, and other bugs such as clipping bodies can lessen the immersion. The sound is mostly decent too. The punchy weapons add impact to every shot you make, while voice work can range from high quality from the main cast to stiff and awkward from supporting characters.
You still stick to your methods, even after what it led you to. That's why this city needs me.
The music hits the spot at least, with use of both the classic theme and revamped versions, which also fit the explosive spectacle. RoboCop Rogue City Unfinished Business is a pleasant expansion to a great game, and will please die-hard fans even if it likely won't win any converts. It's more of a good thing, albeit perhaps lacking some of the dynamic structure or exploration which elevated the original, and it can grow a tad repetitive by the end. A few bugs hurt the experience too, but potent action, a sturdy new story, and solid additions make it well worth its budget price for those who adored the original game and the films.
Surrender, or there will be trouble.
You're going down!
Trouble, then.